Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
Over the last 7 years, we have consistently released weekly episodes focusing on
obstacle course racing, running, and other adventures.
You'll hear interviews, event recaps, conversations about our sport,
quick news updates about happenings in our community.
And now, here are your hosts,
Standing on the corner,
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Ritter. Hey guys, this is Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter. So Michael, how was your weekend?
I actually went out to Chicago and ran the Shamrock Shuffle. It's an 8K, which is kind of an odd distance. But Chicago apparently does an 8K, and then they do a half marathon and a marathon later in the year. So it's just under 5 miles. It's like 4.9. It was fun. It was a good time.
And that was for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it was the weekend after St. Patrick's Day, which is interesting. But they have parades and everything on St. Patrick's Day. So it's a lot of other things going on. Very big crowds, parades. So, other roads are already blocked.
Very nice.
Because that was the first question people asked me is they would say, shouldn't that have been last weekend? Well, no.
Everyone was drinking a bit too much Guinness to be running an 8K.
Yeah. So the river wasn't green as we ran past it.
That is
unfortunately.
A shame. That is a big shame.
Well, how about you? What did you do for this weekend?
I would love to tell you, but I've completely forgotten.
Well, you took a flight to Europe, right?
Oh, I did, yeah. I took a flight to Europe to do a little bit of work in the south of France. And that was obviously very, very fun because I completely forgot about it.
That much fun, huh?
Yeah. It was great. It was surprisingly cold there, but in fact, I was in Nice, which is where the High Rocks World Championships are going to be happening this year. So it's a
awesome.
Nice location for it.
How cold was it?
It was like 11 degrees centigrade. Pretty windy.
So that's it's not too bad.
Surprisingly, yeah.
In Chicago, it was 34 degrees Fahrenheit.
I know, but think how much lower the south of France is, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How about that? Well, let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Mud Gear and Caterpie. You can get your codes for some percentage off of Mud Gear and some free Caterpie. No, some percentages off of Caterpies.
For Mudgear, you can use the code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next Mudgear purchase. And for Caterpie, use code OCRReport20, and that will give you 20% off your next Caterpie purchase.
Caitlin, I appreciate you keeping track of that stuff for me.
Thank you so much.
It's something that so much that I can't do, and you do it for me, and it's just wonderful and amazing.
I appreciate you saying that. Well, you are the brains behind all of this and get the organization done, but sometimes you need someone behind you to just keep things going.
What do they say? Behind every great man, there's a great woman. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
We can give a shout out to our $3 and $5 plus Patreons.
Absolutely. So to kick off, we have Joe King, followed by Jason Dupree, Samantha Thompson, Matt Putton, Dave Claxon, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Erin Grindstaff, Laura and Stephen Ritter, shout out, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Kenny West, Cheryl Miller, Jessica Johnson, Anna Wesner, Nick Riker, Christopher Hoover. We've got a lot of patrons. This is a long old list. Kevin Gregory Jr., Erin Hyrick, Ashley Reese, Brent George, Justin Manning, Kevin Prater, Wendell Gage, Logan Nagel, Patrick Brown, Angela Bowyers, Issa Cunnington, Samantha Schmantherson, and Seth Renderkanich.
Yeah, I think we're bringing in about $10,000 a month at this point. So we're planning a big vacation getgetaway for all of the Patreons. We're going to bring them all out to
Bermuda,
I think Yep. And everybody's going to get together. So, thank you guys for the support and look forward to that.
Yeah, keep contributing, and we'll all have a lot of fun together and keep putting out these episodes every week for the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm. And we're also going to put on, with all that cash, we're going to put on an OCR at the vacation as well. So
absolutely, it'll be free for everyone, and the best OCR you've ever been to.
And the prize purse for, it's only Patreons, but they're going to be a prize purse just for you guys. So first place gets 10 grand. and second place gets 8, and third place gets 5.
I thought it was first place gets 10 grand, second place gets 15, and third place gets 4.
That's right. We were changing it, so it's going to be very interesting to see how first and second place like try to stay behind each other. I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
It's going to be so interesting, and obviously there'll be a live coverage there from the OCR report as well.
Absolutely, Jason Dupree is going to be out there. I think they got like a fleet of drones. They're going to do one of those like where the drones like it's a light show.
Yeah,
but
instead of fireworks because environmental factors. Yeah,
but they're all going to be cameras at the same time, so it's going to be like I don't know 100 different cameras on the race. Pretty wild.
And a final shout out to Will Hicks and Jack Goras, the godfathers of OCR, shall we say?
Yeah, the OCR report, a great home for us on the internets, and these godfathers of the OCR report that make everything we do possible.
Absolutely. We also have our sponsored athletes that we like to give a quick shout out to. So that is Javier Escobar, Kelly Sullivan, Ryan Britzolara, Joshua Reed, and that's all of them.
Javier, you like to say it like
I do.
Will Hicks always says Javier.
Well, if there's one thing you know about me, Mike, it is that I do butcher names constantly. Let's not forget about the Psychos Chichos issue.
I like Javier though.
I like Javier.
I think he likes it too.
Yeah.
But he's been I think fighting some ankle injuries. So he's working on that, trying to get back to fighting form. But he has still been putting in the work as the man does.
Well, talking of people getting back to fighting form and putting in the work, obviously that's something we've seen from a lot of athletes lately, but we did most recently see that with Chris Rogloski not taking part in a pretty major event because of a meniscus tear.
That's right. A little bit of quick news there. The Barkley Marathons happened and Chris was going to run. She was actually, she made it in. She was invited to run, but she decided to pay attention to her body and let it heal up rather than, I didn't think she could get hurt. So the fact that I heard that she had a meniscus tear was pretty mind blowing myself. I think she made it up. Maybe.
I mean, maybe she made it up because it's such a scary event, but let's be honest. I mean, after what we saw at the weekend, can we even call it tough anymore? Is it hard? I mean,
yeah, after we saw the entire roster of people that started finish, it was like, that's pretty cool. I mean, I kudos to them for all finishing. Everybody finished together.
Holding hands.
They ran across the line as one. And I think it was because they had, some people that had finished before. So they all just followed right behind them. They just followed them.
I think they all kind of like tied a string, like a tow line and did it as a group. I think it was kind of, for this new modern era to show how we all work together, how we can achieve more and stick it to the man. So
the most wild part is how they have that rule about when you get to the end, if there's more than one person, they have to go different ways. So they took these two groups and they split up, but then the strings they had tied together just brought them back together. So it was it's
quite beautiful, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
They released doves after they crossed the finish line. It really was beautiful.
It was beautiful. And the coverage was fantastic.
Yeah, the Twitter feed was fire.
It was really up to date and accurate information, which is really nice to see in extreme racing. In other news, the king and queen of OCR are making a tiny prince or princess.
Yes, Ryan Atkins and Lindsay Webster having a baby. Lindsay announcing this, or them announcing it, shows that Lindsay has been pregnant for a little while now. And she was pregnant while she ran.
Yeah,
while she ran the toughest the Infinity, Tough Mudder Infinity in Alua in Saudi Arabia.
So tough. Big shout out to her for managing to do that.
And she got 5th, right? While pregnant. Pretty wild.
Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's already tiring enough during that stage. So to be able to take on an event like that, let alone do so well, is pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, but congratulations to them. It's awesome. I think, from what we hear, That's something that they've been wanting for a while. And, these people that do a lot and ask a lot of their bodies. So for Lindsay to say that she's been going to retire for the past few years now, this is a chance for her to actually do that and take a different path for a bit. Yeah,
it's an interesting conversation for sure for competitive female elites, if and when they choose to do that, because it's such an impact on their career. But she's been building up lots of other stuff as well, and has a pretty full lifestyle with other side routes. So I'm sure she'll keep herself busy working elsewhere.
Yeah, be very interesting. I mean, she was already saw a video of her freaking hiking a mountain by herself just the other day. So it's not like she's just sitting at home doing nothing. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure as soon as she has a baby, she'll be back and fighting for him.
Oh, absolutely.
Very quickly.
Absolutely. And last little nice bit of news, Grit Coaching have joined the OCR reports, which will be an absolutely fantastic resource for everybody out there.
Yeah, really excited to have them aboard. Faye Stinning and
Jessica O'Connell.
That sounds right, but I apologize. We'll have to go with that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna bring in a coaching aspect to the OCR report. With the OCR report looking to be a place for everybody to get OCR everything. Not only is it going to be for the elite side of the sport, but while you're there, you can get tips and all that stuff as well. So,
and some less great news: the disappearance of Bone Frog, which I think we covered last week, actually. So we probably don't need to go over.
Well, no, last week was when we covered that they came back.
Right. So last week they came back, and this week we're covering that just for 2024. They're not here, and everyone gets a full refund. But they've not spoken further about the future, so who knows?
Yeah, actually, I think they did. And they said they're going to come back next year, and then they're going to leave again after that.
Okay. So, but the big lesson here for everyone is don't name a race after an amphibian.
That's right.
Correct.
The Gecko Dash is no longer with us either. I missed that one. It only took place in the in the deserts, like in Arizona and stuff, which is pretty cool. I mean, it was a nice idea. Them and Salamander Slalom, that one went under as well. Unfortunately,
they were great.
They were both desert races.
They were really good.
It's hard racing in the desert. I mean, that's why they didn't have anybody show up, because it's too hot.
It's so dry and mealy.
They would make mud pits and they would just dry up instantly.
They'd just be dusty sand pits.
Yeah. They tried putting them through like you do have some mud pits out there, like in the not the Serengeti, but like some you see these places on these wild nature shows, and they've got like the big mud pit where all the animals come. So zebras and crocodiles. But yeah, and that was the problem, is they were putting them through those, and then like the wildebeest would come trampling through, and it didn't.
I mean, it would be entirely crazy, wouldn't it, to put an OCR through a space where there were like animals like alligators that could kill you?
The funny thing is that a lot of OCRs in the U.S. have been at nature reserves where they'd have not necessarily crocodiles and stuff, but antelope and gazelles and stuff like that running around.
Well, I mean, I say that because obviously everybody knows that I'm doing World's Toughest Mudder this year, and the idea of the alligators plays heavy on my mind. But
yeah, but it'll only be on the part of the course where you have to do some putting into a green. Yeah, that's the only place where you're going to see the alligators.
What then you've got to make sure is you just don't put your hand into the alligator's mouth.
Right, when it bites the ball. Yeah. Don't try to get back, or else you'll be like Chubbs. Yes. And then yeah, so
that's good. So let's get on with the episode.
All right, we'll see you when you come back.
We are here today with our guests and translator. Let's start off with your names and where you're from.
He says Timber from New Jersey and Appa from Massachusetts.
I understand you only have so much time due to your busy schedule, so I appreciate this. It sounds like you've been training others in how to increase their speed in running races. Is this correct?
Yes, it is.
Without giving too much away, how have you been achieving this?
He says, we wake up around 3 in the morning and we run as fast as we can.
That's interesting. Other than running, is there anything else that you do for this training?
It is also crucial to make as much noise as possible.
And why is that?
Reasons. They said they need to go. They heard a mouse.
Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you to our guest. That was a wild episode. I can't believe some of the things I heard. For those that missed it, I mean, we're going to delete this episode after, so you won't be able to hear it. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. But anyway, thank you to our guest. That was amazing.
Yeah, this episode will self-destruct at the end of listening. So if you're here and you missed it, I'm not quite sure how, but gosh, that was a wild, wild ride, Mike. I'm not sure how you kept your hair on throughout that, because it was that was mega.
Related episodes, if you go back to episode 3 and listen to minute 75, we mention a number, and you take that number and then multiply it by pi, and then every one of those episodes is related to this one.
I mean, this has been years in the making. It's a little bit like Harry Potter. Like, you know, every single book ties into the next. This is this episode. This ties everything together. The secret message that we put back in that first episode in 1983, that third episode, sorry, in 1983. It's going to be an absolute journey for you. Take that episode, and then within that, take that number minute and pick the word out from that minute and put them together to make a secret message from us. And the first person to get that will actually get the entirety of our Patreon fun pop.
Links below in the show notes so that you can watch more episodes of us and all the information about all the wild stuff that has happened in the episode.
It was wild. Make sure you subscribe and follow us by clicking the subscribe and follow button, so you can make sure that you catch each of our weekly episodes when they come out every week.
You can click them, but if you smash them, it helps.
It does. Hulk smash. If you want to leave a review, do, only if it's nice. We don't like negative reviews because it makes us look bad. So leave a review and say that we are the best, and this is your favorite OCR podcast.
While we're talking about reviews, I do need to remind our listeners that if you're listening on Google Podcasts, that is going away. So make sure you go to, I think, there's other podcast apps, but YouTube Music actually is a good place to listen to it within the Google Android space.
Fantastic. Let's give a social media plug to ourselves.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
X, TikTok,
Threads, TikTok,
probably
YouTube
at Obstacle
Stories.
Running Adventures. Is our link. And Patreon plug, do support us on Patreon. It's probably patreon.com/obstacle running adventures.
For as little as $1 a month.
But preferably
for as
10.
much as 10. But remember, you get to come to our OCR retreat. Vacation getaway.
Coming up next, we have
what is next?
The next episode next week. What is next?
Yeah,
what is next in life? I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? I think so. In honor of St. Patrick's Day and the big question of life, it's Father Patrick McGinnis will be joining us to talk about the big questions of life.
And there is, some more, I think, from the OCR report. There's more Deka live streaming coming up on April 20th. There's Deka SoCal. At the same time, we'll actually be in, our hometown doing a Deka mile. So we'll be talking about that as well as some of the Deka from SoCal.
Yes, so we signed up for that and we are regretting it already. The training
I hear
pretty hellish.
It hurts.
It hurts. I do not like doing the sand. No, you don't like doing the sandbags. Squats, lunges, not sure.
Lunges. Ram squat. Ram lunges.
Ram lunges.
There's no sandbag. Actually, it might be sandbag because it's the mile. I don't know how they do it. They do it a little different on the mile.
We should probably find out, shouldn't we? If only we knew.
I mean, we can just show up and just not read the rules and then just go with it.
Sounds good. Sounds like a
way. And that way we would get penalties. That's fun.
So, talking about complete jokes, as we would be, as we don't know any of the rules, it seems. Joke of the week. This one is a nice OCR themed one. Saw a 10-foot wall the other day. Couldn't get over it.
Nice one.
Thank you very much. And
You have a quote?
Well, I mean, we just watched Rocky this week, didn't we? And even though we didn't particularly like it at all, which, much to the horror of just about everyone in the world, because it is the greatest film series ever, and I've not actually watched Balboa yet, but I have understood there's a fantastic quote in that film which says, it's not how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And that is how winning is done. So let's keep that to ourselves for our Deka Mile and the sandbag lunges, and remember, keep.
He said that about boxing, but obviously that relates to especially ultra running, ultra OCR as a huge. That's what I think about every single time I run.
I mean, it did say about boxing, but it was also about life in general, because that man went through some tough things. And let's not put any spoilers out there, but that was a heart-wrenching film. So I hear, even though I don't like Rocky.
You're right. I just related it to OCR. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
My favorite quote from that movie is when he walks, this is the first Rocky, when he walks that girl home towards the beginning of the movie and she says, "Hey, Rock, screw you." I just thought that was,
creepo.
I don't know.
I love that. Hey, little Marie. Also makes an appearance in Balboa. That's really good.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty wild.
Pretty wild. Really looking forward to watching all of those and telling everyone how great they are. So that's us for this week. That's been a fantastic weekly show, possibly the best we've ever done. A really great way to kick off April, and looking forward to the year ahead.
We'll never top it, that's for sure.
Never top it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye for now.
See you next week.
Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe to our show and write us a review on your favorite podcast app.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook and connect with us there.
Most importantly, we would appreciate it if you shared an episode with a friend so we can reach more ears
and continue to effectively shine a light on the people in our sport, as well as the events that we are so passionate about.
Our intro song is Streaker by Straight Up, and our outro music is Iron Call by The Best.
It's pretty good. All right, so you asked me how my weekend was.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, he's adorable.
Welcome back. Thank you, Paula Chintz. I need to get you my info for a shirt.
Did he say who this episode is for?
No.
Thank you to our guests. I'll just say that.
That was a fascinating and educational episode. Hopefully it's not something really depressing.
Okay. Yeah.
Where'd you learn to talk like that? A mouse or a mole?
That'll do it.
That'll do it.